Okay, first of all, let's start with Shawn and give us an overview of the different ways one can go through the process of getting divorced without litigation.
All right. So let me start by saying that the most important decision that you make after deciding to get divorced is how are you going to get divorced. So here are your choices. Number one, do it yourself. You can go online, look at different resources. If you're here in San Diego, we have the Office of the Family Law Facilitator, which is available to anyone for free, and you can go down and do that. You have to attend their classes, you have to wait in line, you have to get there early and sign up, and you get very little guidance from the court. Second way is the way that most people think about divorce, which is what we call litigation. It means each of you goes out and gets an attorney, and you kind of slug it out between the two attorneys and the two parties and go to court. That's not to say that you can't come to some agreements without having to get to trial, but it can be a long, protracted, and expensive process. The third choice is mediation. And in mediation, you usually work with an attorney who's a neutral third party, kind of like Switzerland, and they work with both of you, and sometimes your attorneys, to help you reach a settlement out of court. In the second segment today, we're going to talk about what mediation is and what mediation is not, so I'll save that for a surprise later. The last option is something called collaborative divorce, which most people haven't heard of, although it's been around for about 20 years. And in a collaborative divorce process, each party has their own attorney. Both the parties and both the attorneys sign a stipulation, an agreement that gets filed with the court saying that they won't go to court. And if either person quits the collaborative divorce process, then they have to go out and get a new attorney. It's a team approach to divorce, so in addition to each of you having your own attorney, you also each have a coach who's a mental health professional of some sort, who's been through a special training, and their job is to help you through the divorce process. It's not therapy, and Shelley's going to talk more about that in a bit. You also have a financial specialist, someone like Cinda, who is the neutral in the case, and they are kind of the keeper of the process and help move things along, and they help you with the financial stuff. If you have children, we also bring in a child specialist who's, again, a mental health professional who specializes in children, and they help you figure out what the best parenting plan is and identify issues that might be going on with your kids and help you figure out how to manage those.
We've been talking with Shawn Skillen. She is a family law mediator and attorney. Her website is ShawnSkillenLaw.com. That's the website, ShawnSkillenLaw.com. Okay, a couple different ways one can do mediation. Tell us about that.
So mediation, you can kind of craft and design the process so that it works best for you. So it might be just the two of you working along with the mediator. It might be the two of you and your two attorneys working along with the mediator. You might want to bring in a financial person like Cinda to work with both of you and the mediator. Again, she can be a neutral party to help you both with various ideas and options of how you might want to divide up the assets and the debts and the cash flow so that it works for you. If there's a lot of emotional issues, you also might want to bring in somebody like Shelley to co-mediate or to work with you as a coach outside of mediation. So mediation can kind of be custom designed to fit whatever your particular situation is.
Let's say that I didn't know that the collaborative or mediation approach existed and we just decided to jump right into litigation. Am I stuck with litigation throughout the whole process, or can we mediate some portions of it?
So you're never stuck. That's the good news. You're never stuck. Whether you start mediation, collaborative, litigation, doing it yourself, you are not married to any one of those processes, and you can quit at any time and try a different process. Or you can put your attorneys on hold and go to mediation and try and mediate that. Sometimes I have people come to me to mediate just one segment of their divorce. Okay. Maybe they've worked out their parenting plan, but they need to figure out what to do with the house and the bank accounts and the retirements. So we might just work on the financial issues. So again, mediation can be crafted to fit your particular circumstance. And it's not uncommon for me to have people, in fact, I'm talking to a couple right now, they've been in litigation for 2.5 years. Yeah. They're coming up on a trial. It's going to be a 2-week trial, and they're both really considering whether or not they want to spend all that money on a trial or can they give mediation a shot. So We're trying to figure that out.
You have here that 90% of cases settle in some fashion, if not all, before trial.
90% of your cases are going to settle somehow before trial. They may settle early on. They may settle, as we say, on the courthouse steps the day of trial, because nobody likes to do it. But that, settling on the courthouse steps on the day of trial or the day before trial is still really expensive. Your attorneys have already had to prep for trial. They've had to write their trial briefs, get all their evidence together, do all the depositions and all the discovery. And so you've already probably spent way too much money on your divorce. So I just encourage everybody out there to try and be as reasonable as possible in their divorce and settle early, no matter which process you take.